So how are we seeing AI applied to healthcare? There's, it's interesting. We're sort of playing recovery because one organization came in pretty loud and proud into healthcare saying we're going to do all sorts of crazy things, making a lot of promises. And so we had to go through that and realize that there's a lot of clinical applications that are too fine at this point. We're talking about life and death, that we had to back off a little bit and say, all right, let's figure out how to use this technology and where to use this technology before we start applying it to, I don't know, diagnosing patients and those kind of things at this point.
Yeah, I think of it as where's the value add, right? And I'm sure we'll get into this today, but the people that have to drive AI within an organization are the people that understand those business problems and business use cases and the cost or potential value associated with them, right? Because if you just had a data scientist come in and you tell them, go find something significant, they can do that with data. Mathematically, it's very easy to do that. But is that really going to drive, cost savings or better optimization and efficiencies, et cetera? Likely not. Within healthcare, I'm seeing the trajectory go in a couple different patterns. The insurance organizations are investing very heavily in it, have tons of data scientists, and are being able to more accurately and rapidly assess claims and approve or not. But then if you look at the hospital systems, there are some that are very progressive and some that are more laggard in regards to it. And I see it always as a crawl, walk, and run approach, right? Because organizations, let's take billing and ICD-9 and ICD-10 codes. For years and years, it had always been focused on manual. Everything has to be done manually, and that means it has to scale linearly with more labor. And then we started getting to OCR, which can hopefully detect some of those aspects within billing. But now we're getting into deep learning, which, to your point with computer vision and natural language processing, now it can read and understand the text, right? And automatically identify what was done in regards to some sort of prognosis, and then identify what the billing codes would be associated with that based on the computer vision reading the actual page and looking at entities within the page, and the natural language processing being able to understand the context of that. So the long and short answer is it's really going across the spectrum. For the organizations that are moving further and further along in their AI journey, also seeing it as things like using AI to augment doctor success. For instance, using AI software applications and models for X-rays and MRIs to detect anomalies so that doctors can be more efficient and spend more time with their patients. And also leading ultimately into personalized healthcare, right? Because at the end of the day, or at the end of this light of the tunnel, what we want to do is ultimately stop treating the disease and treat that patient holistically. And if we can do that using augmentation through AI, we should be able to reduce costs, reduce the number of treatments and other associations for a diagnosis, and get a patient in and out the door faster and happier.